All right, we should be live now. Just give it a few moments to make sure that the sound's good.
Very
And
loud the intro.
oh
I
yeah,
usually cut it. I usually cut it off by then. I just listen to it. It's like, oh, my ears.
oh no, yeah. Like I've been mentioning, I reformatted my computer, changed everything on OBS, and now the sounds are really off. Is my sound fine? Like my thing keeps on going into the red, like peak red, which is a little worrisome.
You're known for your loud voice, and everybody
Yeah.
knows that.
Hey, Steven, Stevo, just Nick on Twitch. Only person on Twitch. Someone's on YouTube, so that's cool. That's cool. I actually brought the chat into the stream this time so people can read the chat. I don't know how legible it is. Maybe that's the
That's good
thing
enough.
I
I
need
can
to
read
zoom
it.
in on. Yeah. Uh, but this is cool. I kind of got things, cleaned things up a little bit. I even got that Genesis logo up in the corner that animates and moves around. I'm all proud
Is
of
it?
myself. It's
Oh,
actually moving.
sorry. You pointed at that corner, but
Oh
I
no,
see
not
what's
on my
up there.
wall. Not on my
That's fine.
wall. On that corner. Oh, I'm going a little crazy.
You see, but for
Uh,
me in the video, you are pointing the
uh
opposite way, and then it's over on this one, we're in the right way. So I was very confused.
that makes sense. That makes sense. ZW 42.
Wait,
Uh,
I need to ask who's
who?
ZW42. Are you Steve? Are you
I
Steve from
don't.
multiple
I
places?
Yeah. Are you? Because that's really cool. But at the same time, I've seen you in other streams that are Flesh and Blood related.
Who
So
are you,
who?
ZW42?
We need to get that song going. Who are you? All right. Well, welcome everyone for our exploring the library. Did we do one last week? I think we did. Oh yeah, we did our first
Yes, we
one
did.
last week where it was just a conversation type of thing. We're gonna be continuing that. I actually got really good feedback. I don't know if I told you about that, but Steve-O called me up afterwards and he's like, "I loved it. It was really awesome. You should keep doing that." I'm like, "Yeah, as long as we got questions to keep talking about, we're gonna keep doing that." So, um, it is
It
Steven
is.
on both sides. You're awesome. All right. So, are we starting off with the big news? Are we talking about the
Sure.
championship? Let's start with the
Yeah.
championship. So we announced today. We've been talking about it for a while, but we finally confirmed up
Yes.
the venue. We finally got the tickets up. Everything is ready for you to go register for the championship. Yay! It is finally happening. I am excited. It took so much work. So first off, I want to start with. I know you hated the delay.
Oh yes, every week I was like, "Can we say it yet? Can we say it yet?" And then there's the other term was like, we kept telling people, "We got news for you this week," and then we would delay it another week. I was like,
Yep.
"Ah."
Yep, we seem like jerks. That was true. Do you think it was justified? Like, I know behind the scenes, I kept on telling you, but I don't know if I ever sat down to ask your opinion and being like, did I do this right, or did I just was I wrong to delay it so much?
So the funny thing is, I feel like the delay would be justified if we didn't get the place. Does that make sense? But because we got the place, it's less justified because we were delaying it
Yeah.
because we didn't know if we'd get it.
Yeah.
Weird thing. Yeah. Yep.
It was difficult. So for everyone who's watching, just in case you didn't know, at the last championship, I actually did a lot of the event organizing. I went, found the venue. I did the decorations. I did as much as I could. And you saw it if you were there. It. We had fun. This time around, we actually partnered with a really amazing company, and they source the venue, they are doing the decor, they are getting the food, they are doing everything to make this event really amazing, which benefits a lot. We get a lot out of it, but the downside is now we got another stakeholder, and they get to make decisions on when delays occur and when to push forward. So I agree that in a lot of ways, if we didn't get the venue, then it would have been like, yes, we delayed it for a reason, and here we go. But at the same time, like, because I think this is just our first time doing the event and we rushed it. If we had done this properly and started everything like months ago, then I don't think we would have been able to get the tickets out to everyone much earlier. Actually, getting the tickets out to everyone much earlier is not the issue. It was getting the website page, which was the most important part. Speaking of that, do you want to switch over to that and start walking through the website?
Sure.
All right. What's the best way for me to do this? Should I just share my screen?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah. We'll just share a screen.
There's a world out there, Sid, where a what-if world, where Chris ran the championship and he, made sushi for all the participants.
All right, I need to stop sharing. I don't think the share screen thing worked as well as I was hoping. So what we'll do instead is transition this. The downside is that everyone won't be able to see the chat, and you won't be able to see exactly what I'm seeing because you'll be on a delay watching the live stream. But it's all good. Just Nick, you already got it booked off. Nice. Keep in mind that coming to the event, we do recommend that you create your account in Geo, the Genesis event organizer, so that we will be able to get you into the system and start hosting the event through Geo. So fingers crossed, everything works well that day, and
not even just that, Sid. If all goes to plan, we should be using Geo for the event. The players will be able to see where they're sitting on their phone. Passes rather than waiting for us to put up papers where their seats are.
That's true. So that's gonna be really awesome. I'm really excited to see how that goes. So we're on the website. We're gonna go to the events, go to championships. Geo is right underneath that. So if you need to sign up for Geo, it's right there. All right. So first off, you get this amazing landing screen with the cool banner. I don't know. I love this. This was probably just straight off the bat already. I was like, yes, it was worth partnering with these people because this was just so pretty.
Is the banner too good? Now they're starting site is not as good.
Yes, the rest of the website, like everything else on the Genesis website, now looks like crap because of this. All right, so if you want to see stuff about the 2019 championship, that's on here. But really what we want to know about is the 2021 championship. So let's learn more and register. So we see that banner again. Cool. Cost of entry. So the reason why I put cost of entry right off the bat here is because so many people were messaging me being like, how much is it going to cost to be at this event? I'm like, all right, I should make that a little bit clearer. So the free tickets are free. And that's just our way of getting around Ontario's, not getting around, but like, we're not trying to cheat the law. It's the whole idea of, we just don't want to, be, considered gambling. All right. So Ontario law says there's 3 parts of gambling. It's if you pay to enter, if the game is of chance, and if there's a prize pool at the end. So we just make the event free and then you're not paying to enter. So that way it's not gambling, right? Let's look at the comments. I really hope I used the right name. Okay. Stephen, about COVID, made a mess of every possible event planning. Yes, COVID was a nightmare. It still is. We have an entire section dedicated towards COVID down below, but we're working through it. I mean, if Flesh and Blood can host their amazing calling events, then we should be able to host our championship. So, okay, so cost of entry, you got the free ticket, you got the VIP ticket. The VIP ticket's going to be $85 plus HST. So that's that. Date and time, November 20th, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. If you were here earlier, you would have saw that the site's at 11 a.m. That is not correct. I changed that. And then the location, we're down at Queens Quay, downtown Toronto. The location is just gorgeous. The room we're in is called the Sugar Room because the window of it looks out towards the harbor where the sugar boats come in. That for the Red Path factory that's in downtown. And if you're looking for a hotel, I do recommend the Westin. It's a bit pricey, but I stayed there once. It is really, really nice. It's definitely, it will make the entire experience feel a lot more elite. All right, scrolling down, prizes. So 10K cash prizing. There's going to be a sealed alpha box, and then a chance to make a champion card for the upcoming set Invasion. So we already have a slot set aside for Invasion, promos, and more. Anything? I'm just going through the website. Is there anything you want to add?
Promos and more.
All right.
More.
I think when we get into the event details, then Alex will contribute more. Until then, it's just me walking through the
problem is I'm not seeing anything. I'm watching Sid, and I'm seeing the delayed picture.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so let's talk about COVID. Okay. I feel like a lot of people forget that we are still in the middle of a pandemic. We still are. Be safe. Now, keep in mind, what we have as measures here, it will change if the Ontario guidelines change. Because I know being in the hall the entire time wearing a mask may not be comfortable for some people, especially people who wear glasses. So, if there's an opportunity for us to not wear masks, then we'll do that. We will be following the guidelines as much as possible, right? The hall we're using has sanitization stations set up, which is awesome. And then wherever we can put in social distancing and it makes sense, then we will. We're not going to have it at the tables. That doesn't make sense. But, you can't sit 6 feet apart from your opponent and play Genesis. It's going to be awkward. All right, so event details, registration, VIP, and prizes at the bottom there. Registration, it'll take you to Eventbrite. You can go register, fill out, just get your ticket that way. And everything will just get processed to them. I guess event details? Is that where you want to go to next?
Sure, yeah.
All right.
Event details.
All right, are you on the website at event details?
I can pull it up.
All right. I'm just talking a lot. This was more your department. If there's anything you want to go over.
Championships. Alrighty. Learn more and register. Just going through the website to get there.
Yeah.
Alright, event details.
It goes to show how planned we were. Eh?
Yep.
Alright.
So for everybody who hasn't checked the site, I guess should be our first statement. Because maybe a bunch of people have read it. The basic events, obviously at 8 a.m. The championships all the way up to 10 p.m. Did we do the full breakdown? Yeah, we do later on. Yeah. Okay, checking. So in the short event list there's the championship, and then pretty much anybody who doesn't make it into the top 8 will be available to join the sealed event. We've also planned out specific lunch and dinner times because we want you guys to eat and not starve. So
very important.
1 o'clock, 1 to 2. Dinner's at 6. We have no closing time. Guys, at the 6 o'clock dinner, the sealed event will have the cutoff as well, and it will only be the top 4 for the sealed event going to the finals for the sealed. And then at 10 o'clock, we'll have closing ceremonies. If you are a VIP member, you'll be getting food for lunch and dinner. And did we figure out if we're going to be able to sell food there to other people who aren't VIPs?
We haven't figured that out yet. So assume that we're not. But where we're hosting it, at the base of the building, there are at least 5 restaurants there. I know there's a shawarma place and a burger place. And then there's also a Loblaws right across the street. And Union Station is a 10-minute walk. And inside Union, there's a bunch of restaurants that are open 24 hours there. So
that's fair. And while we don't suggest it, there'll be a lot of Genesis cards there you can eat. You should not, but you can.
A lot of fiber.
All right. Let's just go into a bit more breakdown. So obviously the championship, like we said, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Following the 4.0 rule book. The 4.0 rule book. Have we adjusted the deck list with the four thoughts? And
yeah, so I added that in. It's now a 2-page document, unfortunately, but it does have your main timeline and your 4 thoughts on there. So everyone can write those in. And I also requested for each card you write not just the quantity but what the chi value of that card is, so we could do the quick math and just on the sheet.
Save time. Yeah, that's smart. Very good. So the timetable. So from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. is registration. One thing that we really should put in here is, I believe, is 8:30 is we want all the deck lists in mind.
Okay.
But if you come late, it's not like we're gonna kick you out. we're unfortunately too nice for that.
Like just like the judge program, if you want leniency from us, this is the time to get it. Like this is the time we're learning. We're gonna be the most lenient now, but in a few years from now, no, we're gonna be strict, serious face. All right.
From 9 to 10 will be round 1. I believe the rounds are only going to be 55 minutes. So for those stores that are used to an hour, you're going to be 5 minutes short. So you should be practicing to be a little bit faster. This is a championship, so we do expect you to be, at the top of your game. And we know some of you guys like to take time. Cough, cough, Sid. But luckily, Sid's not in the championship, so we don't have to worry about it. It's just something to note about. We will be aggressive. And I don't know why I'm using the word aggressive, but we're going to be aggressive with the time cutoffs because we have a lot of rounds to get through and a lot of events. And even a small schism in the schedule will affect absolutely everything. Mm-hmm. And just following that, each round following up is essentially an hour. So like I said, it's going to be 55 minutes. 5 minutes is for us to quickly make starting the next round. Mm-hmm. And that's for the top for the first 4 rounds. At that 4th round point, we will know our top 8, and we will pretty much have to reach out to them. We have to make sure a plan for that. So, otherwise, because it goes right to lunchtime, they run away for lunch. We're like, no, we need to tell you you're top 8. So then we will have our top 8 cut. For top 8, it will be single elimination just due to time restraints. But you will have unlimited time in your top 8 matches to make up for it. So play fast in your first 4 matches. Now you can take as much time as you want once you get here.
Nice.
You got it, Sid? You got it?
Yeah.
There will be a dinner break at 6. We do predict that the top 4, excluding the finals, will be done by 6. But if it's not, I guess it's your game, so...
Single elimination... is single elimination still best of 3? Yeah, it will be.
Yes, still best of 3. Yeah. Everything at the event will be best of 3, except for the side event with the game creators, the designers. All right. For all those people that unfortunately do not make the top 8, you have hope. We have hope. You can become the first ever sealed event champion. Because we have a sealed event following this. It will be much shorter, for sure. And we're doing a much shorter cutoff because this is a secondary event. We want to leave time for everybody to enjoy both the finals of the main event as well as this. So you will have a half an hour for deck building. Round 1 will then start, and you will have the exact same amount of time we had before. Hour again. Round 2, round 3. There is both dinner break. Dinner will be provided for the players who make the top 4, so that they can eat and they can go right into their top 4 matches. Mm-hmm. For the top 4 players, they will get a new pool of cards and will deck build again to prove that it wasn't just a fluke that they just got the best pool ever. They have to prove that they need to do it once again. We then do the top 4 eliminations, which is the same as before, single elimination, up until the finals from 7:30 to 8:30. Is there any questions in the chat? Because I'm not on the chat. So.
No, so they were asking about single elimination, but we already addressed that. It will be best 2 out of 3. And then Nick is asking for someone to drive him so that he doesn't have to stay at a hotel.
Fair enough. Then we have some additional events, and we'll have more of these once we figure them all out. But these are just some of the basic ones we know we'll have there. Endless booster draft. At any time, if there's a group of 6+ players who are interested, you'll be able to do a booster draft for $10. You will get 2 Welcome to Dalara packs and 2 Raise packs. Those are out of print packs, people. So if you really like those out of print stuff, nice. Have we thought of a clause about the people that enter this have to play an event, have to draft with that?
What do you mean?
What if somebody comes in, they just want the 2 booster packs from Welcome, the 2 packs from Raise for $10, and then just choose not to play?
We'll be vending packs there as well. Mm-hmm. We'll have to look into it, but they could be roughly the same price. So,
all right.
It'll just be a good way to get some packs. We'll see what will happen, but trust me, cheap packs of out of print stuff are going to be there. That much is sure.
Yeah, get them at this championship. There may not be at the next one. Who knows? To keep on the tradition that we've done before, you'll get all opportunities to challenge one of the mini game designers and win prizes from them. So I know, scheduling-wise, I put myself in that first hour before the event starts so that I can overwatch the rest of the event. But also for anybody, because that's when people have the most free time, I think, pre the event and most jitters. Mm-hmm. I will go as hard as possible and not let a single person win.
Obviously. It's just because you're a mean person.
They have to have practice for the championship.
Yeah, I was really trying to figure out what decks to bring myself. I'm probably going to bring my Long Holy deck and my Idris Monster deck, because those are the 2 that I'm most comfortable with. But we'll see what I do. It'll be something silly. It'll definitely be something silly.
I have some troll decks that the players of Dragon Worlds fear. Maybe I'll run them. Surprise people that there's decks that they've never seen before that are out of this world. So
in the chat, JC, does this mean I can wreck with Malik again? Yes, bring your Malik. And of course, if there's anything you need to make your deck even more powerful, just let me know and I'll hook you up. And then Steve-O, about the auction. So the anniversary stuff, even though it will be happening concurrently with the championship, I've been so focused on getting the championship stuff done that I haven't actually got around to doing the anniversary stuff. But I do have a few things from the anniversary already set aside. I did get the poker chips already. The auction stuff's decided. I just need to sit down with Alex at some point and figure some of the details out. So expect that information coming soon.
We should be able to talk about some of the auction stuff to give them a little spoil and treat. But when we get there, let's finish off our list. You know? You need to challenge the designers. Talk to Lionel today. He asked me about what deck he should build, and I'm like, whatever you want to play, Lionel. Yeah.
You build him a deck this time.
You build him a deck?
I love Lionel, but he can't build decks worth anything.
50 lion mane rabbits.
Nice.
And we will have a artist at the event. We did want to bring in more, but unfortunately due to COVID, we could not.
Yeah.
But we will have Camilla there. So she can get her to sign your cards. I don't know if she's doing any other stuff, but...
So, I've already mentioned this. I'm going to work on... and I'll talk to Camilla about details about this, but there'll be a few additional special things she'll have that you can pay to get from her. And I know one of the things I'm going to hook her up with, because I want to make sure she gets the biggest bang for her buck and that the community walks away with something really special, is I'm going to get her a handful of copies of each of her cards that have foil versions. And you'll be able to get, if you don't have the foil already, you can just buy the foil card from her and get it signed immediately.
That's very good, especially for the 2 cards here that don't have any foil printings.
Yeah. Well, I won't have the ones that don't have foil printings. I wouldn't have foil versions of, right?
I thought you said I thought you were making special ones.
No. I'm not. But it's a Baboon and Sea Crate, I think. Yeah, because Dust Trail Mouse and Dark Corruption didn't make their way. But I will have I will get her a bunch of copies of each of those. So if you don't have those cards, she'll have those and she'll give them to you. But we'll see what else we can do with her so people can get some really awesome stuff.
No, Steve, the auction will be on the day of the championship.
Yeah, it'll be leading up. We'll be announcing the winners for the auction at the championship itself. It'll be part of the closing ceremonies. All right, cool. So those are the events. More things will get added in here as more details come about. Do we dig into VIP next, I guess?
Sure.
So I don't have a lot of things that will show on here, but already, straight off the bat, the little image for the VIP is a bit of a spoiler, which is fun.
Anybody guess what that is? In the chat, anybody get that? Guess what that is?
So there are 5 exclusive VIP promos that will be there. So it'll be all the VIPs will get that, and the top 8 of the championship and top 4 of the sealed will also get themselves a set of all these VIP promos. So that's coming about, and then there'll be uncut cheats, which is fun. So you can thank Alex for that. He grabbed a whole bunch of uncut cheats, and I was like, what are we gonna do with these? He's like, just give them away to people at the championship. So that's part of the VIP package. So and then you'll get your meals included, and then swag. I didn't want to be explicit of what we're getting because we haven't locked that in yet. We're still negotiating prices. There were a few different ideas bounced back and forth of what we can get, but once we settle on some things, I'll be showing them on this page. So make sure you come back to the VIP section on and off, and then once it's up there, I'll make announcements on Facebook or somewhere about updates when they get them. All right, and prizes. We only have one thing revealed. Okay, no, we could talk. You break down the prizes for them.
I was gonna say we only have one thing revealed. We have the whole list here.
Yeah.
All right. So in the main championship event, every participant who makes in top 8 will receive a invitational to the 2022 championship as a VIP. The player who comes in first will receive a $3,000 cash prize, a complete set of the VIP promos, 1 sealed Alpha booster box. I'm assuming sealed. I don't know.
Yeah.
And the opportunity to create a champion that will go into Invasion. Second place will receive $2,000 and a complete set of the VIP promos. Third place, $1,000 and a complete set of the VIP promos. And fourth place, $500 and a complete set of the VIP promos. The players who make it 5th through 8th will receive a complete set of the VIP promos and $300 each.
Really, I should have just said everyone who gets into the top 8. I don't know why I said it every single time.
Well, for the sealed event, the top 4 will get an invitation to the 2022 championships as VIP, and they all will get VIP promos.
There we go. Saving effort.
First place will get $1,000 and the opportunity to create a card that will go into Invasion.
So non-champion card.
Non-champion card. I would like to design an aura card, please.
Oh, the 15 aura card. That's what this game's been missing, the 15 aura card.
That's when he's like, no, I want the 2 aura card, please.
Instead of the Toonie, it's a Torah. No, that doesn't work either. That doesn't work either.
Second place, $500. Third place, $300. And fourth place, $300.
All right.
We also have exclusive the 2021 Championship Epiphany promo. Oops, I missed my page.
Yeah.
And then apparently we have a date scheduled to reveal more the championship VIP promos. I did not know this.
Yeah. So that's what I was like, oh, we only have one revealed. So I've only revealed the Epiphany. So the story behind this is that Damian, when he finally got his copy of Epiphany, I sent a bunch of cards to the art team for Christmas. When he finally got his copy of Epiphany, he was so embarrassed by the artwork. He was like, I have to do it again. So he did this artwork again, but we originally had no purpose for it. And then as we started planning the championship and we were like, we need a special promo, we're like, okay, this artwork is gorgeous. We need to use it. And Epiphany, I think, is just, it's one of those cards in Genesis. I think it needs a promo version. Even though so many people hate it, it needs a promo version.
There were some questions in the chat.
All right.
Nick asked, instead of a champion, can we make a rare or epic? And Steve said, making a champion is much more of a prize. The person to think, And then Nick said, I agree, but it's so much pressure.
When we get to that point, Nick, if you win the championship, then if that's what you want to do, then we'll sit down with you and make that happen.
Yeah, whatever you design. I don't know the process that went for Steve-O, but we work with you to design it. We're not going to just allow a card that breaks the game.
Yeah.
This is my champion. He has an ability for 10 aura. Win the game. All right, put it in the game.
All right. I'm gonna switch over back to our cameras so people can start seeing us again.
Fair enough.
All right. Yeah. So, 2 aura, totally Canadian. What happened is if it's a bad or worse broken. Nick, I don't know if you saw this, but all the cards that went through the pitch contest, we tested them very thoroughly. And even the first person to make a champion outside of me was Alex, and that went through a pretty thorough level of play testing with everyone in Future League. And even like Necrolich was a special case, but at the same time, we worked as a game design team pretty thoroughly. There was play testing with it, and it was a collaborative experience. It wasn't just Steve-O got to just dictate this is what's going to happen, and then boom, it just happened, right? Like there was a bit of a back and forth with the artwork. He's mentioned it even in his own live stream when he first pitched the artwork. It was supposed to be Raha or Nubia with the Necrolich, and I was like, no, thematically, what's happening in the world, it just doesn't make sense for Vadhis to do this. It's more of a Sahas mechanic. So we picked Rain, and it worked better that way. So that's why you will work closely with the game design team and with the art lead to figure out how that's all supposed to look. And then Steve-O says this is the farewell to Epiphany before it gets banned. We'll see. I mean, Steve-O, the best way for you to get Epiphany banned is by making an Epiphany deck and winning the championship and showing us not just that you win the championship, but that like at least let's say 50 to 70% of the top players all play Epiphany decks. Like if the top 8 is nothing but Epiphany decks, then yeah, definitely it needs to get banned at that point. But if none of the decks make it to the top 8 or only 1 or 2, and by Epiphany decks, I don't mean a deck that just runs 1 Epiphany in it or 2 Epiphanies in it. You have to be running like, how many did the OTK deck run? 10? 8?
No, I think they were like 8. They're 8 to 10, somewhere in there. But clearly Steve-O's talking about Magic the Gathering, because there's also a card in Magic the Gathering that everybody keeps saying ban Epiphany.
Wait, what?
And there's a card called Alrun's Epiphany.
Oh.
And they want it. But people just call it Epiphany because they don't care about the first half of it. But it's just everybody saying, ban Epiphany.
Now just Flesh and Blood needs a card called Epiphany that everyone's trying to ban. Then every game is trying to ban a card called Epiphany. That'll be good. Yeah, I'm really excited about the event. I think things are coming together. I know it's very last minute, so unfortunately, a lot of our American champions are not going to be able to travel up here in time. But I think we have a rough idea for even next year's championship. So nothing set in stone, but I'm aiming for the 19th and 20th of next year. It's roughly the same time, and it's my mission of keeping the championship close to the anniversary of the company.
Yeah.
I don't understand putting the championship close to the anniversary of the game's launch, because even though launching the game was a special event and everything, it's a company that I'm celebrating. I celebrate the birth of the company. That's the birthday that matters to me. And so Steve-O said no MTG.
No, Canada's borders aren't close to the U.S.
No, yeah.
The issue we're finding is that a lot of the players don't have updated visa.
Passports, yeah.
Passports, visa. And are are believing that it'll take them 2 months to get the
Yeah,
passport. Was that
it takes 10. No, how long does it take? 10 weeks to get your passport updated in the States right now, because logistically everything kind of just fell apart during COVID. So there's a lot more longer of a wait time, and that's an expedited rate, unfortunately. So yeah, it's just, I don't know. I really wish that a lot of people would come. If you're able to make it, then please come. And if you have any challenges making your way up here, let me know, and I'll see if there's anything I can do. Not likely, but I would give me a chance to look into it at least.
Actually, extra thing for US, on November the 8th, it is full open border. All that they require is your COVID passport or vaccination proof. There's not even a delay where you have to quarantine or anything like that.
And that's the other part of it is you'll still have to get your COVID passport just to come into the event, so you might as well have it for both, right?
That's true.
So, yeah, that's the championship. And there's something I was gonna ask you, but I don't remember now. Anyways, any topic on your mind when it comes to the championship?
Off the top of my head. So I think that's news to me. So is the auction separate from the championship?
So the auction is a celebration of the company's anniversary. So the bigger event that we're really celebrating is the company's anniversary, right?
Yeah.
And the championship is just one item under the anniversary. So the anniversary itself has the bundle, the auction, and the championship. Those are the three things that get comboed together to celebrate the company's birthday. So the anniversary bundle always comes with the poker chip that identifies, this will be the 4th anniversary poker chip. So if you have all 4, that's really cool. It shows how long you've been playing the game. And then it comes with special promos, always attached to some sort of historical moment in the company's history. So the first promo was the Vampire Kiss, because that was the last rare that was created. Technically, the second year we had the championship, we didn't have an anniversary bundle at that time, but I would have done the same thing that I ended up doing, which was the Angel, the Giant Scorpion, and the poker chip. So anyone who came to the 2019 championship, they retroactively got their coin. And then the third year bundle had the original 4 champions with original artwork, borderless. That was the promo set there. And then this year, should I announce it?
If you want, go for it.
We'll keep it back a little bit. There's enough hype happening right now. We need to hold back some information to keep you hyped up for the next little while. But I did put spoilers into the championship websites, like we saw with the one artwork. There's other things that are hidden around, so go look for them, enjoy them. I love Easter eggs. That's just a big thing for me. Okay. Will the event have access to QR code scanners for the championship? So that's going to be a thing moving forward in the Ontario policy. So the Canada passport is going to be the QR code. And if that's the case, that's what we'll use. We'll stay up to date with whatever's happening in Ontario. So that's what we're going to be at. So can't force myself to tarnish my timeline with likes of Epiphany, Timeless Chaos. So yeah, then it goes to my point is, if Epiphany is the easy win and everyone, you either play Epiphany or you struggle to win, or either you play Epiphany or you lose. If that's the case, then that merits banning Epiphany. But if the case is that, the Epiphany decks, it's a lot more controversial than just the community saying we need to ban it. It's there's more to it. But at the same time, if no one's playing it, and we'll have to see, right? We'll have to see.
It's true. If for the whole rest of the game, nobody ever plays Epiphany, what is the point of banning the card?
We could just ban it for the sake of banning it at that point. But honestly, I don't know. And to be honest, I appreciate that the community has been vocal but understanding. There's been a high pressure of them saying they want it banned, but at the same time, no one has threaten me in any way about the fact that it's not
there you go, guys.
like
to get what you want, you gotta go threaten Sid.
But like the fact that the community hasn't been aggressive about it goes to show that they are willing to give us the benefit of the doubt that we're going to do what's best for the game. And sometimes the best option is a wait and see. Figure out if the community, how much the community cares about Epiphany and should we ban it or not. So let's see how the championship goes, right? If Steve-O, if you win the entire championship without even playing Axon, does that mean that we need to penalize it by taking out one of its more powerful cards? It's a debate to have. I'm not saying that there's a clear answer. I'm just saying let's have that conversation. Let's keep moving forward with that. Steven, should be simple enough to do Ontario's app. Yeah, so I haven't downloaded the app yet. I actually need to do that. I know that I had issues downloading it over the weekend, but if I can download it now, we'll see how it goes. Nick, message me later. I'll figure out what to do with your coin. All right. So my question for you, Alex, do you have any lessons learned so far about the championship? Like, what are some of the things that besides the fact that we should have started planning earlier?
Starting planning earlier is the first thing going in my head. It's like, planning earlier.
Besides that, is there anything else?
That, I don't think yet. Wait till the day of the event, and then after the event, and then I'm sure we'll have many.
So I'm compiling my list, and having the pricing evident at the front will be important. Talking about geo evident at the front is important. So I made those tweaks, but those are still things we need to think about. I wish we had more time to do events to show how we care about other parts of the company besides the competitive format. So having something that was like one thing we talked about, but we couldn't do because of lack of time, is the cosplay contest. That would have been cool to kind of support and see how that would have gone. And something I mentioned to you just before this is like a support for Future League, potentially a Future League event. Because there's a lot more that happens with the game beyond just constructed play, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we could have had something where people could pitch a format idea for other people to play test with them. Be like, hey, I have a really cool concept. I need some people to play this with me. Who's interested? That would be really fun. I would love to see what other ways people play Genesis.
That's fair. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
But I think going along those lines is just, I guess, having support, like more space and prep for non-main eventers. Because I think our focus definitely is on the main event here, even though we have the nice side event as well. But to me, that's also a main event almost.
Yeah,
it's support for all our players.
Yeah,
they can go again.
And another thing that we're missing out on this year a little bit. No, we have it. I'm mistaken. So not gonna say it though. It's a spoiler. All right. So we got some time. It's what, 7:44? Oh, there's a bunch of comments that kind of came in all of a sudden. What did I miss? All right.
It starts with Steve. You might have more ones. You probably have more because you can read them all.
Big if Will. Oh, so Steve was saying that Will is going to take the championship this year. That's a cool prediction.
Was that what he said?
Yeah.
Will, I read that completely wrong. I thought you said Will is going to take Epiphany this year. That's what I thought you were saying.
I mean,
I'll tell you, Will is having struggles. He's having struggles on what to play, what to build. Every day he messages me. He's like, "But can I take this deck? Is it good enough?" And I'm like, I don't know.
I could see that being a challenge. Personally, like if I were to go into the championship, I don't know. I'm just not the kind of person who would play it to win it. I would go in with the deck I enjoy playing with the most, not the one that I think's gonna win. I've never been that hyper competitive person. Not in I did for Magic for a little while, where for the first time ever I stopped playing mono black control and I did white weenies back in Lorwyn, and like it was purely because I wanted to win some games. I wanted to go to a tournament and win for once. But I think for Genesis, I have never been hyper competitive, but it's also super awkward if I was. Like, I don't get to play the game competitively. I can't walk away with the prize support. It's people get mad when I do. So,
that makes me think. It's like sometimes I like to daydream. I'm like, nothing I've designed is in anything yet. Why can't I join the championship? Don't worry, I got a lot of work to do outside of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of people assume I'm much better at this game than I really am. I'm okay. I'm a solid like B level player, maybe B plus, but I'm not that like phenomenal. So come challenge me at the championship. You'll see. You'll win more often than I do. Nick saying bring in a bunny deck. That would be awesome. I would love to see bunnies win. Future League Draft. I think a Future League Draft would be really cool. Future League Constructed. Yeah. The thing is, if we were to do a Future League focused event, we would have to like do a cutoff on what the time frame is. And doing a Constructed is a little bit easier because we don't decide rarity till much later on. So it wouldn't be a draft as much as a cube, and a cube doesn't give us the analytics that we're looking for. Constructed would, right? If we created a constructed event with a decent prize pool behind it, then people would try to win that, like play competitively to win, and then we could see what the future of the meta looks like, right? Mm-hmm. All right, it's time for Spike Pits to have its day in the sun. That would be awesome. I don't think I've ever seen anyone play Spike Pits.
Steve just runs one Spike Pit in your deck, just for the memes.
Spike Pits, Tacky Psyche. This would be the best deck. All right. Other questions? Do you have some random questions on your list? I know you're saying they're not serious, but I'd love to see what you have in mind.
Oh, you really on to my weird question?
Yes, do it. I love weird questions. Right.
What is the weirdest smell on J-Lara?
Okay. So my first thought where I went to was, I don't know if you ever watched the really, really old school X-Men cartoons.
Yes, I have, yeah.
But there's this one time where someone shapeshifted into Nightcrawler and used Nightcrawler's teleport ability. And Colossus was like, that's not the real Nightcrawler. This didn't smell like brimstone. And that's when you figured out that Nightcrawler, whenever he teleported, he went to another dimension and brought back a pocket of gas from the other dimension, which smelled like brimstone. I was like, that's what I would think of. Like some sort of like sulfur death type of smell coming from the pits.
Oh, I thought you were going to say is whenever Rain vamps out, she's bringing that air with her. Those aren't actually ancients around her. Those are just fart clouds that don't leave. That's her actual curse.
It is the ancients' fart clouds that just never died and then latch themselves onto her. That's why, even though she appears out of your awareness, you know she's there. You're like, Rain, I smell you behind me.
And that's why she always has a face cover.
Yes. It's her own like mask so that she doesn't have to smell it.
Oh.
All right. I only have serious topics.
All right, go for it. Serious.
All right. So this was okay. All right. This is a question I've been thinking a lot about when it comes not just to the championship, but looking at invasions and other sets. Then, how do you mark a set as a success or a failure? What would you define as the metrics of a successful set? Mm-hmm. Or like Raise, for example, would you have deemed that as a failure? Was it how reasonable of a set it is? Because as you're thinking, I'm going to ramble a little bit until you come with an answer. Just interrupt me. But like having the metric. Okay, go for it.
The reason I don't like to say that Raise is a failure. because like obviously it's parts of Rays are a failure. It's just at the end of the day when we talk about Rays, it's like there is so few playable cards in Rays, and it just goes back like to the commons and uncommons. Where if you look at like past sets, even the commons and uncommons, a lot of them are playable. But when you look at Rays, you go, what are the commons and uncommons that are playable? In uncommons, you really have Oten and Windslash. That's it. I'm trying to think of. Hopefully somebody else can think of. There's got to be more. Like I'd like to hope there was more.
Okay. Sidestep is on that barrier.
Yeah, sidestep's not bad.
Breath of Jalara.
Oh yeah, sorry. Breath was the third one. I was definitely missed Breath. I remember when cracking packs, you were looking in the comment slot for Breath, Oten, and Windslash.
Goliath should have been a common, but I do like Goliath Sphinx Eater. Windslash you mentioned.
I would definitely bring Goliath Sphinx Eater up into the playable. It's definitely one that's not. Oh yeah, Lion Mane. Sorry, yeah, Lion Mane.
Arcane Shield.
Lion Mane player.
Arcane Shield has definitely has a place in the game.
You know what? Maybe I stand corrected.
So
commons.
I think because if I look at J2, about a third, it's pretty close to half of J2 is Rays. A decent amount of J2 is actually Rays. It's just they're at the lower tier slots.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not that there wasn't good playable commons and uncommons in Rays. It was that their good playable cards were more in the rare slot, and they should have been in the uncommon slot.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking as you were saying it. Because you're right. Essentially what we did was there is a few rares that stayed, and almost half of them all went down to uncommon.
Yeah, a good chunk of them went down to uncommon.
Like a lot. Like all the pillars.
Hey Darren, nice to see you. And I think someone else joined recently too, right? I missed someone in the chat.
Yeah, there was Jeffrey.
Yes.
He wanted to recap on everything he missed so far and all the other weeks he's missed. Full recap on everything.
All the live streams are in a playlist on YouTube, so you can go check them out. Like we do keep the playlist of all the live streams. I'm sure a recap would have been nicer. So, for me, actually, there are things about Rays that I consider as a win. And those are exact opposite things that in Welcome to Jalara, I actually considered why Welcome to Jalara was a pretty bad intro set to the game. So, one of the things about Welcome to Jalara that I disliked was that the tone and the story weren't well presented in that set. The art was kind of everywhere. The naming conventions for the cards was everywhere. There was no cohesion inside the set. Where Rays, I think, brought a better storyline to it, a stronger sense of the anguish and the torment and the war that was going on. You saw a lot more battle in that set. So those were things about Rays I really, really liked. But...
My number one issue with Rays, and it has nothing to do with the set, it just comes down to the feeling of Rays pack.
Yeah.
You compare it to any of the other sets. Don't even compare it to J2 because then it's just horrible. But when you crack a Rays pack, you're like, you just like you're almost your best end is like, oh, that was all right. That's almost like that's the feeling you get when you're going through cracking Rays.
So. The thing is, from my perspective, I liked cracking Rays packs more than beta packs. And the feeling behind it, for me, because remember, from my perspective, I don't have to put money in to open up a Rays pack, right? I already put in the money in. I put a lot of money in to get Rays packs. But if I want to open up a Rays pack, I can. If I want to open up a beta or a J, I can. I found it a little bit more enjoyable to open up Rays packs than beta packs, because beta packs, there was so much of that set that was at a time competitive and now not at all, or even at the time was just not competitive at all. And there was no way to justify that maybe it was competitive. Like if we look at the elementals, if we look at Well, those are the first ones, but even like Fire Chain, Fire Imbue, a lot of these ones in beta just became not playable. And then even now, yeah, you can cause an edge case for them, but it's a very, very thin edge case for a lot of them. But with arrays, I think a lot of the cards had niche homes.
Yeah.
And that's why it was a lot more of an experimental set. It was a lot more of a, let's make jank decks. Let's make decks that are more for casual play. Just have a lot of fun with them.
Yeah, yeah. Now, well, I need a rant before you go anywhere.
Okay.
Because I think JC was in the audience. I think he was on Twitch or something. So if the JC is there, because you brought up Fire Imbue and there's Dark Strength as well, you should know I hate those cards with a passion and will not let them print again. JC just gave me a bunch of those enchantments. Pitch those to me.
At the time, the concept for them was, especially the direction that the elemental cards were going in, they made sense in beta. Because the concept originally where they came from, I don't know if you ever watched. So I was obsessed with Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, anything to do with Final Fantasy VII. There's this really cool fight scene between three of the main characters, and in the middle of the fight, one of the characters takes out his sword and these runes appear, and he starts chanting something, and then the sword kind of combusts in flame. And I was like, how do I bring that feeling into Genesis? And that was the idea behind Fire Imbue. But at the end of the day, a lot of it didn't make sense for how the game was moving. And where it is now, I definitely don't think it makes sense. But I could see it making sense in a different world, in a different aspect.
Yeah, just because it hit me in my mind, and we just talk our minds here. I could see that working if it wasn't just an enchantment. If it had a secondary effect where it was also a elemental, just like an attack or something, and it wasn't as, I'm going to say useless as it was. I have a bias towards it as well, because while we talk about beta was my favorite to crack, and I cracked so much about it. But my least favorite thing was Dark Strength, because I have like 500 Dark Strengths. And I used to say I've never played a Dark Strength, but I have played a Dark Strength in an OTK deck, Rain OTK deck once, where it used Power Punch, and you wanted a Dark Strength just so they would do dark damage to go with your super card and other stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so Jeffrey says, I have a question about the championship. Will people be signing off some sort of disclaimer, or is it assumed by attending the championship they've assumed some open privacy for any of us that may be interested in making videos, photos, content for online? We did this last time. We did have a waiver. We were hoping to get it attached to the ticket, but we just ran out of time. We weren't able to do that just yet. We will have a waiver at the championship saying that everything that is happening there will be recorded and photos taken. If anyone has a big issue for it, I think for us it is a bigger win to have being able to take photos and videos of the event. And if that's a blocker for you to participate, then I don't know if we're going to be able to make an exception for that. So we will want people there being able to take photos. That is very important. Actually, we'll be setting up photo booths and stuff like that, or opportunities to take photos with things that will look cool.
I'm being confused. On Facebook, above Jeffrey's thing and above Darren's thing, they have a flag, and it says Sigador de Hito. I don't know. I guess you can't see it. You're not actually on Facebook.
No, I'm not.
Which is they also, but in different messages, they have milestone followers. I know this is a huge tangent, but I just got very confused. Like, what the heck is Sigador de Hito?
So Jeffrey, a brief recap. We talked about the championship. We just walked through the website. So if you go through there and just go through every single page and read the details, that's basically what we did. We basically were an audiobook for the community. All right, milestone follow. Okay, so going back to the set, I think it's very important that a success of a set is determined by that average feeling of a player for opening up a pack. Now, the thing that was cool in Rays, J, and Beta, but I think is actually missing from J2, is the fact that because some of the rares in all those previous sets were lower tier, and some of the rares were higher tier, you open up that pack, and you get a pack where you're disappointed, but then you open up another pack where you got Necrolich, where you got Revenge of the Phoenix. And I was like, oh, this makes up for it. That feeling of excitement. Where in J2, there aren't really many bad packs.
Yes.
And even the really good pack, like if you open up a pack that has Bullshot and Angel, that's a good feeling.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much more of a good feeling it is compared to getting a pack that has like Chrono Walker and Alim in it or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. Like if you got an average pack that had like a Purifying Wave and a Subjugation Strike, like how much more of a step up is that? Like the deviation between the packs is not very much. So is that a good thing? I think doing that, like designing your set so that some of your packs are significantly worth less than what you paid for it, and then other your packs are significantly worth more. Doing that consciously, I think, is unethical. Mm-hmm. Because then what you're doing is really tailoring the pack opening experience to dopamine rush, which I don't think is an appropriate thing to do. But on the other hand, if not doing it means that we lose sales and the company dies, then that's also something I don't want either. Where's the balance in that?
Yeah. Well, that's Origins will be an interesting one because now we'll be going to a completely new set with double rares.
Yeah.
But people won't have that past understanding of what the feeling that rare would give them.
Yes. And also, we don't know how good some of those cards truly are. Because, when Beta came out, we thought... Beta Alpha, when those sets were coming out, we thought Demon Scrolls was broken. Like, not broken, but just super powerful. And then over time, it just became worthless. Except for the artwork. The artwork is gorgeous.
The artwork's gorgeous, yeah.
I love both of those artworks. But... And then there's other cards that we thought were going to just be worth nothing, like Shadowclaw. We did not think Shadowclaw was worth anything. And then when Jay came out and we were leading up to the championship, Shadowclaw was the most sought-after common. And then even Subjugation Strike is actually a really good example of a card that I thought fit perfectly as like a mid-tier card. Some people will play it. It's a good card. I did not expect like... It's a powerhouse card. It is really, really good. So if you don't know what those things are, then like as designers, we try our best. We're trying our best with Future League, but we won't always get it right.
Yep. We got a restream sent us a congratulations. We need to really congratulate the chat. You guys hit 100 messages today.
Yeah.
Congratulations, chat.
Next time we got to get 200, right? Right, chat?
Yeah.
Just start throwing in random things. All right,
you need to set up a tally so that there's a tally in the top right of how many message posts.
All right, there's a bunch of...
We brought the whole chat into a tangent.
Okay. I'm trying to see. Demon Scrolls will make a comeback big time. We'll wait and see. There are actually quite a few cards that I have... a good feeling that they're going to have a strong role in meta down the road, and a lot of them we put into organized play packs. Because for the current meta, J2 was perfect. For the future meta, like Demon Scrolls, Cog Restrict, like hold on to your Cog Restricts. I really, really think that they're going to be very valuable in the future. And then... what else is in the organized play packs that really hit a future landmark? Quicksand, I think will have quite a bit of value. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I do like Demon Scrolls. I think holding on to them is going to be very important for the next little while. All right. I think we're done for the night. It's after 8. Any last thoughts?
Nope. I'm just excited. Is it November 20th yet?
Not yet. I'm actually really happy it's not November 20th yet. There's so much to do. I have this huge list of got to be at least 20 or 30 things, and each thing has a bunch of
I have a theory what's going to happen.
Yeah?
The week before the event, the paper's going to show up, and I'm going to have to leave you guys.
We have an estimation of when the paper's going to show up, and that's going to be interesting. But regardless, Cardston doesn't work on the weekends.
Yeah, no, I know. I'll be back for this. But I won't be there the week of, with you guys and be like, oh, we got to set stuff up. I'm like, you guys doing good?
Yeah. Oh, one thing we didn't dig onto the website was the actual tournament rules. So there is a guideline of behavior and expectations. So make sure your deck's sleeved when you come. We'll make sure we have sleeves available for you to purchase while you're there. And then, there's just particular guidelines, especially if you're taking too long and around what happens in those situations. So those are all there. But yeah, Alex, I really hope you're not gone that week before the championship. There's going to be so much to do. But it'll be a really fun event, and I'm excited that we actually get to host it this year.
Or maybe that's a good thing, and then I'll be come home with J2. I'll be like, ah!
Yeah, a bunch of things in his arm. All right, I think that's everything for tonight. Let's throw up the closing screen. Got a new little... I got the bolt shot animation. We've had that before, but then I redid the Patreon thing. We got a bunch of Patreon members. So everyone's name's up on that list. Still need to work on making them a little bit more legible. I think that's it for tonight. Thank you everyone for joining, and we'll talk again. Well, I'll be doing my vlog tomorrow morning. I'll be going over the championship stuff again. But we'll have our live stream again next Tuesday. Have a good night. Bye.
Have a good one. Bye.